Hello and welcome to Sports Today's Morning News Wrap. I'm Siddharth Gulati and I'm going to bring you all the latest updates that made the headlines on different newspapers and on various digital platforms. So let's just begin with some Indian cricket news here. Well, Mohammad Shami has suffered a setback in his bid to return to the Indian cricket team because after undergoing a heel surgery later this year, well, Shami now on his road to recovery has suffered a swelling in both his knees. Well, remember, Shami is undergoing rehab currently at the National Cricket Academy, and there's a chance that Shami, who was set to return for Bengal Ranji Trophy that's going to begin on October 11th, well, he might not really be able to make it. And going by how his current condition is, well, there's a good chance that Shami will not be available for the three-match Test series against New Zealand that's going to begin on October 16th, and probably will also miss out on the initial stages of the all-important Border Gavaskar Trophy that's going to take place down under beginning November 22nd. We're going to do a more exhaustive story on this, so stay tuned to Sports Today. And moving on to some more Indian cricket news here. Well, India have strengthened their top spot in the World Test Championship standings with a 2-0 win over Bangladesh. Well, India beat Bangladesh comprehensively in the second and the final test in Kanpur to seal the two-match series 2-0. And now what India really need to do to qualify for their third consecutive World Test Championship final, well, India have to win 3 of their remaining 8 matches, 3 against New Zealand and 5 against Australia, and make sure that they draw at least one so as to confirm their spot in the final that's going to take place at Lord's Cricket Ground in June next year. And also India will also have to avoid any deduction in their overage things so as to make sure that 3 wins and 1 draw are enough for them to progress ahead into the World Test Championship final. Well, moving to some Pakistan cricket news here. Well, Babar Azam has resigned as Pakistan's white ball skipper ahead of the Champions Trophy that's going to take place in the country in February and March 2025. Well, Babar, he was reinstated as Pakistan's white ball skipper ahead of the T20 World Cup that took place in the USA in the Caribbean earlier this year. But then Pakistan couldn't really do well under his leadership. They were knocked out in the opening round, and Babar as a batter also couldn't really make much of a difference. And overall, if you look at Pakistan cricket, well, they are currently in a very tough state. They recently lost a test series to Bangladesh 2-0, and there also Babar, he did not really do well with the bat. So obviously pressure was mounting on him because this is his second resignation as Pakistan skipper within a year. And now he has clearly mentioned in his social media post that he wants to focus on his batting and at the very same time, be Pakistan's senior batter and contribute across formats. Moving to some New Zealand cricket news here. Well, Tim Southee has resigned as New Zealand's test skipper ahead of the test series against India that's going to begin on October 16th. Well, Southee had earlier mentioned that his place in the subcontinent test would not really be guaranteed ahead of the series against Sri Lanka, despite being the captain. And there also New Zealand couldn't really do well. They lost the series 2-0, and come the India series, which is going to be extremely important for New Zealand, and there's a good chance that they would field a spin heavy 11. That's where Southee might have to compete with the likes of Matt Henry and Will O'Rourke, who was impressive in the 2 test series against Sri Lanka. So Tom Latham is going to replace Tim Southee as New Zealand skipper. And the 3-match series against India is going to be very important for New Zealand because New Zealand now have a total of 6 matches remaining, 3 against India and 3 against England. That's going to take place at home in December. And if New Zealand lose either 1 or 2 matches of those remaining 6 that they have, they won't be able to qualify for the World Test Championship final, and they will be eliminated. Well, sticking to some more cricket news here, with the Indian women's cricket team ahead of the T20 World Cup that's going to begin in a couple of days' time, October 3rd. Well, they have beaten South Africa in their second warm-up tie. Well, India defeated South Africa by 28 runs. Well, asked to bat first, India posted 144 for 7. Richa Ghosh was the top scorer with a 25 ball 36. But in reply, South Africa, they ended up with just 116 for 6. And with Asha Shobna picking up 2 wickets. Well, India had defeated West Indies in their first warm-up game. Well, it's a good preparation for India, knowing that it's going to be a tough group for them when they face the likes of Australia and Pakistan. In India would be, first of all, your first goal for the Indian women's cricket team would be to seal a place in the semi-finals. So moving to some tennis news here. Uh, Yannick Sinner is going to face Carlos Alcaraz in the China Open final. Well, Yannick Sinner, who is a world number one and who recently won the US Open title in 2024, he had a comfortable victory in the semi-final against his Chinese opponent 6-3 and 7-6, and he progressed to the China Open final. And that's, I think, pretty much about it. Then there is Mane, who has led his air rifle dominance. Well, Mane, who recently was crowned the junior world champion in the 10-meter air rifle and also claimed the team gold to India's impressive performance at the ongoing junior world championship in Lima. So that's about it as far as the morning wrap is concerned. Stay tuned to Sports Today, and we'll be bringing you all the exciting updates and analysis from the sporting world. Until then, it's goodbye.